Hello, I'm Stefan from the 22 Dividends app, and this is the first video of a tutorial series that introduces you to the features of the 22 Dividends app. The 22 Dividends app is a portfolio tracker especially designed for the needs of dividend investors. It provides you many cool features that you don't get from your stockbroker. So for example, the app notifies you about upcoming dividend events. It also helps you to track the value growth performance and the dividend growth performance of individual stock positions and your entire portfolio. In this first video, I want to give you an overview of the application, how you navigate between different screens, and also how you can add your first stock to the 22 Dividends app. This is the welcome screen that you see when you start the 22 Dividends app for the first time. It provides you some basic information about the application. The app supports currently over 10,000 US stocks, ETFs, and ADRs. And we also have a growing number of international stocks from Europe and Canada. If you scroll to the next screen, then you see a list of sources with information about the 22 Dividends app in particular and dividend investing in general. This is, for example, the 22 Dividend Investors group on Facebook, where we publish information about new releases and where you can ask us questions. Then we have our YouTube channels where we publish videos and tutorials. And we also have our homepage where we publish articles and also tutorials. Most dividend investors start tracking their portfolios using Excel, so they do it manually. And usually this gets to a point where it becomes really tedious and people are looking for a solution to do this more efficiently. And the 22 Dividend app allows you to import your stock transactions from Google Sheets into the application. So for example, if you have a large stock history, then you can import all this data to the application. And you can also use the exporter for exporting all the data from the application to Google Sheets. So you are not logged in and you can create backups. The last screen is the legal screen that provides important information about how we process your personalized data. All stock transactions are stored on your device. That's why we always remind you of creating backups of your data, because if you lose your mobile phone or something happens to your mobile phone and you lose it, then you lose also all the app data, because we don't save your personalized data on the server. In order to use the application, you have to accept all 3 points and finally accept the conditions. If you don't agree to the conditions, then you have to delete the application. Then we click OK and we are in the application. After you accepted the terms and conditions, you get redirected to the portfolio screen of the application. The portfolio screen is the main screen where you can track all your open stock positions. Of course, if you start the application for the first time, the screen is empty. And this is also indicated by the application here, by this info message. And yeah, as the application indicates, you can use the plus button to add new stocks. In iOS, the plus button is in the app bar, and on Android, you have a plus button here in the lower right corner. So, for example, we want to add our first stock. If you find your stock here in this quick selection area, you can just select it, for example, Coca-Cola. You enter the transaction data and click on Add. Or you can also use the search bar, and let's search for Apple. There's Apple. You can see Apple. The Apple stock is traded on the NASDAQ, and the currency of the stock exchange is US dollars. So for example, if we want to add Apple shares, we just select it. And let's say we bought the shares on the 27th of June. And the share price was $39. And we bought 10 shares. And if you are happy with the data, here we have the transaction cost. In this case, we assume we paid $2 for this transaction to the broker. We click Add. The app refreshes the data. And now on the portfolio screen, you have the first position. In order to refresh the stock data, for example, loading new upcoming dividend events, you have to pull down the stock list. Then the application opens a dialog where you select OK. Now the application is reloading all the data that is available, and the application is up to date. In this video, we want to show you how you can navigate between the different screens of the 22 Dividends app. The goal of this video is not to introduce each of the screens. This will be done by individual videos later. So now we are on the portfolio screen, and we can switch to a different screen by scrolling left and right. For example, if we scroll to the left, we see the overview screen, which summarizes your entire portfolio. So you don't see individual stock position. This is your entire portfolio. If you scroll to the right, you see a summary for each of your stock position. If you scroll right again, then you get to the shopping list. The shopping list is some kind of watch list where you can add stocks that are not yet in your portfolio and that you want to observe. And if you scroll right again, then you get to the transaction browser where you can see the list of all the transactions that are in the 22 Dividends app. There is also another way how you can navigate between the four main screens. And you can do this by opening this menu in the upper right corner. And you can see the four main screens here at the bottom. For example, if we want to jump to the portfolio screen, we just select it, and then the application opens the portfolio screen. You can also see that the current main screen is highlighted with bold letters. And you can also see here at the top, we have additional screens. Those additional screens can't be opened using the side scroll feature. You have to open those screens by selecting them here from this menu. For example, we can open the dividend calendar where we can see an overview of the dividend cash flow per month in stock. You can get back to the main screen by using this back button. Finally, I want to show you the burger menu of the application. It's in the upper left corner. If you open it, you see different menu items. The first one is the Pro version. It opens a small shop where you can subscribe to the Pro membership of the 22 Dividends app. The second one is gives you access to the Academy. The idea of the Academy is that it provides you all the knowledge as a dividend investor. So the application is the tool and the Academy provides you the knowledge. The third item is the import and export menu. So you can import your stock transaction from Google Sheets and also export your stock transactions through Google Sheets. Then we get to the settings. You have some basic settings here. For example, you can set your display currency. For example, if you have stocks in different currencies, you have the summary in one currency. For example, you have stocks in euros and stocks in dollars. But if you have a summary that summarizes your entire portfolio, then you need a certain currency. So either it's US dollar or euros or perhaps a different currency. And this display currency can be selected here in this menu. And this menu also allows you to delete all stock data. And you have different options. You can only delete the data that got loaded from the server, like dividend events. This data will be refreshed the next time when you refresh the data. Or you can use this button, and this button deletes all your personalized data. For example, if you want to remove the application and delete all your data, then you can just use this menu. And finally, you have a help page here in the settings menu that gives you access to different resources like user manual or the Facebook group or our YouTube channel. And finally, there is the About menu where you can find additional information about this application. Now you know how to add new stocks to the 22 Dividends app and how to navigate between the different screens of the application. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. In the following videos, we are going to introduce each of the screens individually and discuss all the calculated values so that you get the most out of the 22 Dividends app. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.